This is not an award I expected, because my explicit commitment has always been to basic research. But somewhere along the way, applications presented themselves that would have been irresponsible to ignore. I have a boatload of people to thank. I thank Tony Greenwald, my advisor, for signaling the power of strong methods as a guide to theory. It is indeed a method that is at the heart of the application for which he and I are being recognized today. Beginning 40 years ago and throughout these decades, my life partner, R. Bosker, has had the most ridiculously unwarranted confidence in me and my work. The only downside of receiving this award is that he will see it as evidence of his having been right yet again. For the past 20 years, Harvard University has supported a research and educational website so heavily trafficked that I don't even need to give you the URL. Because of this support, millions of people today have been able to experience the most fundamental disparity of all, a disparity between ideals and values on the one hand and the real but hidden aspects of our minds. I'm but a symbolic representative of the true recipients of the Cattell Award and their graduate students and postdocs whose cumulative work has demonstrated the power of basic research in the public interest. Among them, I wish to single out Brian Nosek and his students for having turned Project Implicit into an educational juggernaut. I dedicate the Cattell Award to them and the individuals who invest daily in providing continuous education through Project Implicit. Given the unexpected moment in which we find ourselves, when fundamental freedoms are at stake, I thank APS and the Cattell Award Committee for the timing of this award.
That was the first 4 bars of Dizzy Gillespie's Salt Peanuts. I thought about becoming a jazz trumpet player after college, but I abandoned that idea after I had many chances to see Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, and Clifford Brown perform in New York's jazz clubs. I knew I wasn't close to doing what they could do. I was less humbled when I later encountered some great writers in psychology. Those included David Hume, writing in the 18th century about induction, causation, mental association, and the self. William James, writing in the 19th century about the self, volition, and consciousness in his Principles of Psychology. George Orwell's characterization of totalitarian thought control in his 1984. Kurt Kafka's descriptions in his Principles of Gestalt Psychology of the self as an organization of memory. Fritz Heider's balance theory, which shaped the central ideas of balanced identity theory. Bill McGuire's scholarship on attitudes and persuasion, which led to theory about cognitive responses to persuasion. Gordon Allport's scholarship on attitudes, the self, and prejudice, all of which I eventually became interested in. And Larry Jacoby's studies of remembering without awareness, which led to Mahzarin Banaji and I developing implicit social cognition. This may be my only chance ever to thank 5 PhD advisees who educated me as their careers went far beyond what they could possibly have learned from me. John Cassiopa, Gary Wells, Steve Breckler, Sean Drain, and especially Mahzarin Banaji, with whom I collaborated for 30 years and who brought along Brian Nosek, who was her PhD student at Yale. Undoubtedly, my most valuable collaborator was Jean Alexander, my wife of 56 years. Nothing I achieved could ever have turned out nearly so well without her. Alas, Jean died a year ago from leukemia, but she remains with me and in me, still helping me in many ways. There are many others to whom I owe great thanks, and I am most grateful to APS for providing me this opportunity to express thanks.